Okay, welcome back to the SC2C.com Masters Cup. Welcome to the people who've just joined. I know there are a couple of new faces in the chat. Please be sure to say hello. Of course, if you have any questions or any comments about the games that we're about to go through, please be sure to post them in the chat as well. This is, of course, brought to us by Silicon Sports and our magnificent event organizer, Eddie. Of course, there is the other stream as well over on own.tv/basetradeTV. You can catch the other guys streaming over there. And if, yeah, I think that's about it. Let's get into the game. Well, you know, this is going to be good for some people, but it is going to be another Zerg versus Zerg. Starting at the top left-hand side, it is going to be our pink Zerg player, xGKingPoker Face. AKA Poker. Maybe he's just Poker now, I don't know. I don't know, like I'm putting my hand in a really weird position on the keyboard, like I'm preparing for Brood War again. That was really stupid of me. I cancelled that Nexus. That was really dumb. And over on the bottom, or the sort of bottom-ish right-hand side in the yellow, as the yellow Zerg player, it is Frenetic Rays, Betrayus. And see what these dudes get up to. Of course, Betrayus, one of the, I think a lot of people have been pretty much coining him as a big rising star in the, as a Zerg player in the C scene. Of course, everyone knows we've got a bajillion Zerg players, but this one in particular is one to certainly keep an eye out for. And of course, his opponent, Poker, is certainly a great player in his own right. So it'll be really interesting to see how this one goes in a battle of, you know, some of the big names in the Zerg scene. Yeah, like I said, I'm really interested to see what particular styles they decide to go for. We are on Abyssal City, of course. This quite a large map. An interesting feature of this map is that basically only two of the bases, this one here and this one just at the side, are available for sort of bases that aren't on the edge of the map. So the rest of the map, so this one here, of course, and then the opposing ones on each side, of course, it's mirrored everywhere, so everything's all even, but all the bases are actually on the corners, so that is really interesting stuff. Thank you, Chumstrike, for that circle compliment. See, this is the best I can do with circles. Alright, ready? Hang on, let me try again. Hey, that was not bad until there. Hang on. That one's not bad. There you go. Anyway, alright, so we do have that hatch going down there for Pet, and of course he's got the gas and the spawning pool there as well. Looks like we've also got a hatchery a little bit later than his opponent, but his spawning pool is done. Gas is also on the way. And let's just see, you know, it sort of depends on what Poker's going to get up to here. Of course, he did get his spawning pool, as slide about earlier. Got a queen done, and also another just on the way. Meanwhile, for Pet, he's got his hatchery already done, so he'll be able to get his own two queens out very quickly too. And, well, let's keep an eye. What's going on? Nothing too fancy right at the start of the game. Of course, you know, you just kind of want to keep an eye on how much gas comes in. Of course, Betrayus still mining out his gas at the moment. Looks like he is. Yep, I was going to say he might grab a Bailey nest pretty quickly there. So he does put that down rather quickly, actually. So we'll have to keep an eye on if he is going to go for something a little bit more interesting right at the start. Yeah, it's yeah. You know, the FPS isn't great. It's a stream from Australia. Don't expect, you know, 60 FPS at 1080p. Like, good luck with that ever happening from anyone's stream in Australia. Link's going to come through from Pet, going to have a quick look around. He actually will skirt around the sides and have a quick look. And speaking of skirts, the Queen, she's going to come across and try and come back and kill that Ling, but in fact she's a little bit slow. Ling gets to scout out exactly what's going on, even takes a hit on the Queen, a couple of them going on there, but you know, of course that's not going to matter too much. The drone count looking pretty good for Poker at the moment. The issue is his opponent is going for quite a lot of Banes. We got, well, sorry, quite a lot of Lings. 22 Lings have now just come out. There's another 10 on the way. They're just building now, and a lot of those are now popping out. So Betrayus now preparing for that very quick Baneling bust style. He's got 4 Banes already building across on that side of the map. Looks like Poker is going to be aware of this. We'll see all of these links now streaming through. He's preparing with a couple of queens out the front. His own Banes are also getting prepared as well. And here they come. Links now just popping inside. Going to have a quick look at what's going on. Will he be able to snipe down some of those Banes? The big question is, will Pet be able to take out his opponent's Banes? And it looks like, actually, maybe he will. Taking down a few of the drones, a few of the links, but the Banes still remain. So, the Banes still remain. That's pretty cool. So Poker will be safe for the moment, and in fact, this actually puts Betrayus in a little bit of an awkward position right now. He's down to 34 drones. He did drone up a little bit behind all of this, so he was sort of just going straight at Poker and saying, you know, let's have a little bit of a fight. Yes, it is. It is an aquarium. I think it's an aquarium. That sounds good to me. But again, Betrayus is coming at his opponents, trying to see if he can snipe down those Banes before he runs the rest of his forces in. The unit count at the moment still looking, you know, he's still got 11 lings out on the map, so Betrayus is still just sitting there with a reasonably high ling count, just for sort of this stage right now. Normally you would see players just sort of droning up quite a bit, but the Bane and Ling knife fight has been on. Looks like we are going to get a Roach Warren out of Betrayus as well, so he's going to just take straight up into that. Both players have their lairs just completing now, as we can see. Poker just a tiny bit behind, not really too much of an issue there, but Pet is going to try and go for his third, while his opponent is also going for his own third. So both these guys have just decided, you know what, now that that early aggression stage is over, we're not going to have you know, too much of a short game, and we want to go into a bit of a macro game. And it looks like the Bane's coming across from Poker, the Bane's from Betrayus doing a good job fending off the links for the time being. Will they be able to get a big hit off? No, it looks like they won't. Forced off the attack for now. The lings of Pet are actually just doing a good job, but there is a big hit. A Baneling not spotted by Betrayus, and he loses quite a lot of his lings, but then in turn Poker loses his own, so he will be forced back for the moment. And this is, well, it has definitely been a bit of a knife fight right now, because both players have just been throwing caution to the wind, throwing lings out, and it looks like Poker, with his roaches out a little bit earlier, is now going to march across the map, trying to get some damage done here. Unfortunately for him, with the roaches, they're not that mobile, so he is going to have to try and rely on Banelings to defend against any possible wing run bys. This hatchery, I don't think that's going to go down. There is enough roaches here, and with the drones even helping out, it looks like the lings should be able to deal some damage, but not actually kill that hatchery. So things looking good for Poker. Of course, both players have their hatcheries up, but Poker has that slight drone lead right now, up at 55 drones for him. Betrayus down at 49, so he's not a huge amount behind, but he still is a little bit behind. In fact, wow, Poker just popped out a whole bunch of drones. He's now up to 66. Got a macro hatch going down. His pathogen glands is also being researched right now. His roach speed is already done. Betrayus still a little bit behind in that regard. But yeah, Poker still sitting in a very nice spot right now. We'll have to see what Pet is able to pull out of his hat, because he will certainly need to do something if things continue on as they have right now. But you know, he's that player. He's that player who certainly could. We were talking about it just before. He's one of those rising stars in the C region for Zerg play, and he is one that every single player is definitely one. Will definitely respect, I should say. So, see how this goes. Look like Poker researching those upgrades. 2-2 is, 2-1 is on the way, so he is going to have that timing available to him if he so desires to go for it. Looks like the drone count of Betrayus has finally started to even up. He's up to 63 right now. Poker's still at 66, but he has actually cranked out quite a lot of units. He's currently sitting at a total of 32 roaches, which are now out on the map. They are going to try and link up with the rest of their forces, forcing the destruction of a hatchery there. I don't even think that was cancelled, so not too bad by Poker. He's now going to push across. Looks like the third base is the attack point that he is going for. Of course, the thing to keep an eye on is the fact that it's a reasonably small choke point coming through here. It's not like it's pretty big in some respects, but you know, I still wouldn't consider it the largest sort of choke point that you'd go into. So it looks like we are going to have a multiple attack here from from Poker just going to head inside. Just five roaches, excuse me, coming through. They're just going to march straight into the main, and 5 roaches will decimate a queen in no time. Down she goes, and the roach battle is on at the third base as well. Good little, actually good concave from Poker. Unfortunately, the fungal will be able to wear him down a bit, but at what cost? Betrayus, is he going to be able to resupply fast enough? The upgrades for Poker is currently sitting at a total of 0-1. Meanwhile, for Pet, he's sitting at 0-1 as well. And it looks like it is going to push inside. Needs to get some of those drones, or especially those infestors. If Poker can hunt down those infestors and get rid of them, that'll put himself in a really nice position. But it looks like he is going to lose a couple of those roaches because they are getting very red. And it looks like, he's still going to get some damage done regardless. Infested Terrans now popping out. Betrayus coming back with his reinforcement roaches, but the supply count of Poker is absolutely skyrocketing. He's up to 175 supply. It is dwindling a little bit, but his macro has just been absolutely off the charts now. He's third base mining so much quicker than his opponents, and as we can see, he is now buffing himself up with quite a lot of roaches here. We've got a total of 40 roaches on the map, 5 infestors, and they are all going to come along. Not all of them have energy, but you know, there's enough there to provide a couple of extra infested Terrans as well. And here we go. Looks like the second push is now coming through. Decent spread from Poker. Nice amount of fungal growth and infested Terrans thrown out for both players, and there it is. Well played from Betrayus. Short but sweet, a pretty good Zerg versus Zerg game. You know, that was it was only, you know, I think that was like maybe 10 minutes there in that game, and I think we saw just that macro power of Poker. We've seen it a couple of times before in one of the Zerg versus Protoss games, and he did really well in just going up to 101 drones. It was insane, but then just utilizing that macro power, and I think we saw that again there. So while Betrayus went for that early attack, unfortunately didn't get anything done, so it sort of set him behind and set the pace of that game. So we'll go into game number 2 in just a moment. It is the best of 3, and we'll see if Poker is able to pull out a win and go 2-0, or if Betrayus is able to come back. And yeah, stick around for just another minute or